Mr. Speaker, I will keep it brief. Mr. Speaker, my colleague and brother, the Honorable Member for Ofuasia UAD, made the point in his submission that no significant savings can be made by cutting down the number of ministers. Mr. Speaker, I beg to differ. The fact is that if at one point there were 125 or 126 ministers, and today we have 60 ministers, it is a mathematical certainty that you will spend less in the maintenance of ministers than you did in the past. This is not disputable. Mr. Speaker, there used to be a Ministry of Information with a whole setup that had both political appointees, public servants, and civil servants. Today, their functions have been taken over by an office called Minister in Charge of Government Communications under the Presidency. What that means is that today there will be 76 less employees working to disseminate government information than before. Mr. Speaker, apart from the tangible financial savings, Mr. Speaker, there is also symbolic value in doing what President Mahama has done. What he has done has sent a signal to the people of Ghana that their resources, which these days is in short supply, will not be spent on the creature comforts of more politicians who occupy offices with questionable functional necessity. Mr. Speaker, in the past, one ministry, which is the transport ministry, was carved out into 3 different ministries. Today, President Mahama has consolidated that ministry, and all the work that the 3 ministries did will be done by one ministry. Significant savings will be made. In addition to that, there will be greater efficiency. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, whilst I respect the rights of our colleagues on the other side to oppose the nomination and indeed the approval of any nominee, I must express dismay about the reasons assigned for opposing, in particular, the nomination of the Honorable Samuel Jatta George. Mr. Speaker, I would have thought that they would cite some constitutional or legal impediments or even moral turpitude as the reason why his nomination cannot see the light of day. Mr. Speaker, they rather say that Honorable Sam George has run some commentary on the head of another state institution, the judiciary. Mr. Speaker, it raises the question as to when they became the mouthpiece of the judiciary. As far as I know, the Chief Justice has adequate outlets to express disapproval or disagreement with anything that anybody says. We must respect the independence of state institutions and not take over their functions. Mr. Speaker, also, you see, as members of parliament, whereas we are all here mostly on the ticket of political parties, we are first and foremost representatives of the people of Ghana. They have certain expectations of us. One of them is to engage in substantive work. The Appointments Committee is not the platform to settle political scores, especially when the same matters that have been discussed in the public domain have been lost by our colleagues on the other side.
Honorable Felix.
I do not believe, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I do not believe that what, okay, all right.
Yes. I just wanted you to be straightforward with it. Don't invite unnecessary.
So.
Just focus on the nominee and It's already 8 o'clock.
Mr. Speaker, I'll do so. Mr. Speaker, I am making the point, Mr. Speaker. I am making the point.
Honorable member.
The point, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable
the reasons being advanced
please
for opposing